Hi, it's Anne here, and today's video is my finale for my project pan for 2022. We've finally come to the end of this project, and I feel like this year was a super successful year. I'm not looking at past years to see if it actually was. It feels successful, so we're just gonna go with that. Let's get into the products. I only have 9 products that I've been currently working on, so that should be pretty quick, and then I'll probably do a bit of like a recap or an overall summary of how things went with this project for the year. We're starting off pretty good. I have this Fab Pores Be Gone matte primer, and it is done. I have another finished primer. I feel like this was the year of the primer for me and finishing up primers. I don't mind this one. I do prefer the coconut smoothing one. I think it's just because I don't have like oily skin. I think if I had more oily skin, I would definitely like this one more, but it is a really nice primer. So if you're looking for a matte primer that doesn't feel heavy, that goes on smoothly, that doesn't feel too silicone-y, I think this is a really good one to take a look at. I got this, I want to say maybe like in an Ipsy or something, but I think I've seen other people with minis like through BoxyCharm, through Ipsy, through the Points Perk at Sephora. I only had this product in for 1 month, so last month it was 10.14 grams. It's finishing at 5.1 grams, so that's a difference of 5.04 grams. I probably could cut this open and maybe get a little bit more product out of it, but I'm not bothering to do that. Next up is the foundation that I was working on. This is the Mercier Tinted Moisturizer in Sand. It is almost done. I'll see if I can maybe put a photo up shining like a light through this. You can see there's like a little bit stuck to the sides, a little bit at the bottom. Not gonna finish this up. I'm gonna roll this out. It is a little too dark for me right now. I have been using it though this past month, mixing it with foundations that are too light. So that's worked out pretty well. I'm not wearing it today. But yeah, this was a nice tinted moisturizer. I think if I had this in a slightly better shade for me, I would like this, but I think this is the old formula anyway, so I probably wouldn't, well, I can't repurchase this one. I don't know if I would repurchase the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer again. I feel like there's other ones out there that I would like to try instead. So last month this was 20.15 grams. It's now 16.45 grams, so that's a difference of 3.7 grams. In total for this project, I used 17.24 grams of this product. Next up is my concealer, and this is a mini. This is the Benefit Boiing Brightening Concealer. Don't let the mini deceive you. This guy has been lasting me forever. I actually had this in another project. It is getting pretty low now. I feel like though this is one of those concealers that you don't need a whole lot of to get impact, because if you use too much of it, that it's too much. So last month this was 11.7 grams. It's now 11.63 grams, so that's a difference of 0.07 grams. I think I only had this in for about 2 months. In total, I used 0.16 grams. Next up is my powder foundation. I'm really just using this as like a setting powder. It's the Sephora Mineral Compact Powder in R15. This guy is really close to being done, but it is not done. I've had this in, I think, since June. I might throw up like progress photos of this one because it might be satisfying to kind of see where it was at the beginning to where it is now. I'm going to repress this in this packaging, but I'm not going to roll it into my project for next year. I'm going to kind of put it away for a little bit, but I would like to finish this up next year. I'm just not going to roll it in right at the beginning. I want a little bit of a break from it. It's a fine powder. Can't purchase it anymore, so obviously I wouldn't repurchase it. It was 44.96 grams. It's now 44.57 grams, so that's a difference of 0.39 grams. And in total in this project, I've used 2.95 grams. Dun 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 dun, dun 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 dun. It's finished. I have finished a blush. Yay! Yay! Where's the flowers? Where's the trophy? Oh my god, this guy. Sorry, but I'm ecstatic that I finished a blush. I enjoyed this blush. It was a nice blush. I actually preferred it before I repressed it, which sounds really weird. It just wasn't quite the same after repressing it. It was the Annabelle Blush Duo in Dollface, so there was like a darker pink and a lighter pink. Again, I might throw up some photos of what this looked like over time, including like pre-mixing the two together. Yeah, I actually finished this up pretty early this month. I want to say like within the first 10 to 12 days. So I've been playing with other blushes. I have other blushes that I can play with. What? So that's been kind of exciting. I think that's maybe the more exciting part. Actually, no, it's a bit 50-50. 50% like finishing a blush, and then 50% being like happy to use some other blushes because I finished a blush. I don't know if and when I will ever finish another blush in my lifetime, but we did it. We did this one, at least a powder blush. So this product I think is one of two that have been, or no, one of three that have been in since the beginning. So this was 57.65 grams. It's now finishing at 57.59 grams. That's a difference of 0.06 grams. I had so little left to finish. And in total, after I repressed this isn't including the beginning part, after I repressed it, I used 1.16 grams of blush. Next up is my highlighter, and I've been working on this Milk Makeup Highlighter in Lit, just a mini. Another one that's like the Sephora Compact. It is so close. Again, I'll probably throw some photos up just showing some progress from the beginning to the end. There's so little left in this that I feel like I could have pushed it. I definitely could have used this a bit more like November, December, but I don't really feel like it. I'm okay not pushing. I don't think I need to. I am not going to roll this into my project next year. I don't think I'm going to roll this into a project. I think I'm just going to kind of keep this out and quietly work on it because there is so little left that I will finish it. But if I finish it in like 2 months, or I finish it 4 months or 6 months, I'm not going to like care. I don't really want to like force myself or like track progress on like something that might move very, very slowly. But I do want to finish this up next year. It's definitely ever so slightly starting to go, like ever so slightly. I'm like, yeah, we got to finish this bad boy up. So I'll be sad to see this go. Is this my only cream? Might be my only cream highlighter, now that I think about it. I have a liquid highlighter that I mix with foundation. I'm not sure. That's weird that I'm not sure off the top of my head. Anyway, this is another item that's been in since the very beginning of this project. So it was 15.65 last month. It's finishing, well, ending in the project at 15.24 grams. That's a difference of 0.41 grams. In total, I used 4.27 grams of this product. So I'm really, really happy about that. Next up is my bronzer, and this was a late entry. This is the Too Faced Longwear Matte Bronzer in Chocolate Soleil. Just a mini, never hit pan on this. I think I've only had it in for maybe 3 months or 2 months, I can't remember. Slow going because it is pretty pigmented. It is the bronzer that I do have on today, and I'm like at my palest, so this is a tricky bronzer for me to use right now because it is so intense. I probably won't roll this into my project at the beginning of next year, but at some point, like this is a bronzer I feel like I could finish at some point. It's a fine bronzer. I don't think I would repurchase it. There are too many bronzers out there in the world for me to want to try to like bother repurchasing this. But it was fine. I liked it. All right, I do like it. I shouldn't say was. I still have it. I'm sorry. You're still around. You're not going anywhere. So last month this was 27.23 grams. It's now 27.1 grams. That's a difference of 0.13 grams. And in total I used 0.35 grams of this product. Next up is my lip liner in Spice by Annabelle. I honestly did think I would finish this by the end of the year. This is another product that I've had in the project since the beginning, and just real slow going on this guy. It's not an everyday color for me. It does lean pretty warm, and sometimes it's a little darker than I want it to be. It's a nice color. It's a nice lip liner. I actually would consider purchasing more lip liners from Annabelle. I do really like this formula. It's quite nice. Nobody really talks about this. It's hard with some Canadian brands like Annabelle and Marcel and Quo because you can really only get them at Canadian stores. I don't know if you can get them anywhere else, like in any stores in the States or like in Europe. So it's hard for me I want to review these and use these products more, but then it's a very small audience that can like actually access them, which is kind of annoying. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Sidebar. What are your thoughts on if I spend some time reviewing like Quo and Marcel and Annabelle, even though you may not be able to get them where you are. Maybe you can. Maybe you can get them like on Poshmark or something, but as far as I know, they're not easy to access outside of Canada. Anyway, tangent. This was 20 or 2.26 grams. It's now 2.24 grams. That's a difference of 0.02 grams. In total, I did use 0.73 grams. So that's quite a bit of product. I'll show the picture of what this looked like on my paper, because I did mark this at the beginning of the year. And again, I did use quite a fair amount of this, just not all of it. So that's that guy. And last up is this guy, which is no longer the bane of my existence. I know. My feelings on this eyebrow product have changed. This is the Winky Luxe Unibrow Universal Brow Pencil. Weight was 9 grams, still 9 grams. At some point it did change, and I did use 0.02 grams. The weight should have changed because the measurement did change. I can tell looking at it too that there's not nearly as much product in this as there was even just at the beginning of putting this in the project, which I think it was October that I put this in the project, October, November. I like this brow product. It's the one I'm wearing today. Yeah, my brows are always a bit wonk, but it's kind of, it's growing on me. Uh-oh. Go back down. There we go. No. Go back down. There we go. It still falls out. It's not 100% stuck back in there. I couldn't quite get it to stick back in. I don't know if it's just because of the wax with the eyebrow product. Anyway, yeah, I was really frustrated with this product because it was not changing in a previous project. I also didn't like it because it's the bigger tip. I'm now getting a little bit better. I still, I think, prefer a micro pencil, like a small pencil for my small eyebrows, but I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at using this one. And I feel like, I did a test of this with some of my other eyebrow products, and this one does last a little bit longer, so I do feel like it lasts pretty decent, even though it's pretty creamy. It goes on, that's one maybe downside of it. You can get a little carried away pretty quickly with it. I don't even know if it still exists anymore. I should look that up. This was special packaging for, I think, BoxyCharm. It looked like Egyptian hieroglyphs on it. But yeah, maybe not the best product to finish on, because overall this project has been really, really good. yeah, I'm really, really happy with how this project went. I'm not going to bring out all the products because I am going to do a makeup empties video, so you'll see all of my empties in that video, which will include these items. Probably my makeup empties will be like 50% of these items. In total, including the 2 items, the blush and the mini primer, I used 24 products. I finished 24 products. In total, I used 33 products. There's still 7 products in the project, and there were 2 bronzers that I did pull out, the 2 cream bronzers that I never finished, but I pulled out. So yeah, 24. Originally I thought it was going to be, well, like at the beginning of this month, it was 22 in 2022, and I'm like, yes! I didn't even mean to do a 22 in 2022, but I did it, and then I did 2 more products this month. So yeah, really, really happy about that. If I look at the list, there's some categories that are really high. So I did 1 highlighter, 1 blush, 1 bronzer, 1 brow pomade, 1 concealer, 1 cuticle oil. There was a couple of random stuff I had at the beginning. I had like 1 cuticle oil. I had a misting spray. I had a lip balm, that rose salve balm, a makeup remover. But I used 3 eyeliners. So that's pretty good. 3 black eyeliners. 2 eyeshadows, like single eyeshadows. They weren't full. They were like smaller ones. 2 foundations, both full size. 5 primers. It's the year of the primer for me. 2 I think were full size, and the other 3 were minis, but still not bad. And then 3 setting sprays. Again, I think 2 of those were minis and 1 was full size. So yeah, like I feel like I did really good. I'm actually really happy that it was like 1 highlighter, 1 blush, 1 bronzer. For me, that's like a trifecta. That feels really good. I mean, the highlighter was a mini. It was the mini Becca Skin Perfector in Moonstone, and the bronzer was the Franken bronzer. So that's something that's going to be interesting in my makeup empties because I use the same packaging. So this is going to be a twofer. It's going to count for 2 products because I used both this packaging for the blush and the bronzer, and I'm going to keep this packaging. It's great for repressing. So yeah, I am like super happy with myself this year in terms of how this project went. I think things that work for me, and this is something that's different for everybody, trying to keep to one product in a category. I know I kind of cheated a couple times, like for example with the foundation, I did have 2 foundations in at one point, but it is best to like keep with just like 1 foundation, 1 eyeliner, like one in that category. Because as soon as you have multiples, you start like diverting attention. And then I think too, again, I picked a lot of older products, things that I was really motivated to sort of move out, and a lot of stuff were like closer to being done. And that's like you can't really sometimes pick that. Like I'm thinking about my collection right now, and I don't really have any blushes that are close to being done or highlights that are close to being done. So next year's going to be tricky. I'm not going to have that sort of advantage of things that are closer to being done in terms of finishing. I don't expect, I'm putting this out there now, my project to be this successful next year in terms of number of items finished, because I feel like this year was a really good year in terms of number of items finished in this project. So I'm going to end it here because I could just keep blabbing on about this, and I am mentally, the wheels are turning in terms of next year's project. So I'm going to be doing something again very similar, this sort of method. I feel like I've been refining my project pan over the past few years, and it's getting better each year, or I'm at least enjoying how I'm doing it each year. So again, I will be doing this project next year, again keeping it fairly small in terms of number of items as I work on it. Like, I mean, I did finish 24 items, but I felt it worked out better that I didn't pick those 24 items at the beginning. For me, again, I guess that's another tip. For me, it was better to focus on, I think I picked like 12 or so at the beginning. It was like a smaller number to focus on instead of like, and then adding, like pulling out and adding as I go along. That worked well for me. So I really hoped you enjoyed this series. If you haven't seen the previous videos, there is a playlist on my channel. I'll try and link it down below if I remember. If you like this video, feel free to give a little bit thumbs up down below. If you haven't already, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel here in Toronto, Canada. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye.